What is important? I mean it. What really is important? What are the things that are worth the effort and the energy we put into it? And what are those things that we put a lot of effort into it, but they really aren't important? Do you know what that is? Do we really live our lives with purpose and flow through maximizing while it's called today? Or do we just allow the things that are pressuring and pressing in on us to control us and never really get to the things that are really important? Let's talk about today. Hi, my name is Steve Kidd. I am a third generation minister, an international best-selling author of now 21 books and counting, and I have the privilege of working with people as they write, publish, market their books to bestseller, hone their messages, and change the world with who they are. You see, on top of, or maybe really what I do, is I help you up level. I help you see and then achieve your next. I help you to be able to see that your cloud doesn't have a silver lining. Your silver is covered in cotton candy. It is that kind of thing that you need to understand and then see the possibilities. Have somebody with intuition, empathy, and foresight to be able to say, and in addition to what you're doing, you could do this, to always have an up level, to always have a next, a better, a greater. It's my honor to do that and to be able to help the thousands of authors that I've helped who have now reached millions of people with their message. As it says in my bio, I love being the diamond that shines through you, that doesn't need to have my own light, but rather can just come through as the shining light in everything that you do in this world. I'm so grateful to have you here with us today as we talk about what is really important. What is really important? I mean, seriously, what is really important? As I was thinking about this, and I've been talking about this for a couple of days, and I just knew I had to do this today in my Facebook Live and in my YouTube Live and in my LinkedIn Live and any other places that I repurpose this to. I really wanted to talk to you about a book. I know, shocking, right? That I would talk about a book. I know you love it. There is a book written by Dr. Seuss. Amazing. I love Dr. Seuss. The book is called, and it's one of his most obscure of all books, it's called The Butter Battle Book. Many, if not possibly all of you, have never heard of Dr. Seuss's book, The Butter Battle Book. It was a very controversial book when it came out, and I'm sure still has quite a bit of controversy around it because it was talking about how ludicrous Cold War was, how ludicrous the escalation of tit for tat in war is. And there were a lot of people that were very offended by the fact that Dr. Seuss didn't take the typical tact of we're America and we're right. And so therefore everybody else that doesn't believe the way we are needs to fear us and we're going to build up armaments. But rather he took the tact of, you defend yourself and then they defend themselves and you defend themselves, and pretty soon nobody has any more left because they've defended each other right out of existence. So, the Butter Battle book's basic premise, though, is what I want to bring you back to. And it's the concept of the conflict. It's the concept of what is really important. You see, on the one hand, one side of the wall, if you will, are a group of people who believed that their bread should be buttered on the top and that the butter should go up when you place the bread down. This is a very important thing, that bread be buttered on the top. And anybody who doesn't do this way, well, they're just crazy. I mean, how would they even know? The people on the other side of the wall, however, they believed that the butter should go on the bottom of the bread. That if you put the bread down on the plate, that you would put the butter down and have the dry side, if you will, of the bread up. And oh my goodness, how un, socialized are people who put the butter side up, who butter the top of their bread. Oh my goodness, what ludicrousness is this person who butters the top of his bread versus, oh, what ludicrousness is the person who butters the bottom side of their bread. And so there is this enormous conflict that is very, very important, like all of our conflicts are, about which side should we butter our bread on. And it escalates. It goes from a shouting match to them building bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger bombs to blow one another up because, after all, you butter your bread the wrong way. You get my point? What is important? I mean, what really is important? If somebody hands you a slice of bread and you're actually hungry, does it matter where the butter is? Or here's a big one. Couldn't you just flip the bread over and then it would be on the top? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've had a few slices of bread, and with the exception of the heel of the bread, now, you could get into the whole concept, and for a lot of years, both the children, my children, as well as my, probably actually both of my ex-wives, they were not big fans of the heel of the bread, and sometimes that heel is really weird, it's like really small, it's just a little piece of it, and whatever, I'm going off on the heel of bread. But so that one, technically, you have the white side and then you have the toasted side. But even if they put it on the toasted side, bread and butter is pretty good, and really, are you going to turn it down just because they buttered it wrong? I don't know. But the question becomes, what really is important? Why is that so important? Why do we fight over our holiest of cows? Because they're so important. We just absolutely have to have it, right? Rather than fighting for that, what if we fought for what was really important in life? For the people that we care and love for the things that we're meant to do in this world, for the person, that's right, the person that you could reach out and help today. You see, we spend so much time fretting over the past. This and this happened and that thing happened. And oh my goodness, I'm so insulted and assailed because of the past. Or conversely, we spend our time stressed out and worried about the future. I had to remind myself of this one today because, we're headed towards, if you're listening to this live, towards the end of the month and the first of the month. And like most people, there are a lot of expenses that happen right during that time frame. And it's really easy to get so focused on the things that in the next couple of days need to be taken care of that I miss today. What if I put myself in a near heart attack or coma or whatever, worrying about a couple of days from now and not enjoying today? I wish you were here. I wish you could see how beautiful it is here. I mean, I'm looking down, the temperature on my phones, or on my computer rather, says that it's about 63 degrees. It feels a lot nicer than that. Bright, sunny sunshine, light breeze. It's the kind of day you just want to go out there. And I probably, after this, actually will take Moko back outside again. I think she'll probably enjoy it too. Really beautiful, wonderful day. Now, some of you are like, 65, that's kind of cold. Well, and when I lived in Southern California, not that long ago, 65-degree day would have been like, brr. Although I'm still convinced that the sun works better in California and that 65-degree days are warmer than 65-degree days are in other states. But that's a whole nother discussion. But if I miss out on that sun on my face, of that time to feel the warmth and the smile, if I miss out on coming on Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or Twitter and reaching you and talking to you and encouraging you to think for a minute, what really is important? What are the things that are worth it, that are going to make a difference in this world? What are the things that we waste our time on that aren't really important at all, that seem such a big deal? Think about, and I'm not real big at the past, but sometimes reflecting on the past is a good thing because we can think about a thing that was so important at the time. And yet now, as we look back, we see just how unimportant it really was. It was just everything then, right? And we gave our whole all to it. And now looking back, days, weeks, months, years, decades later, we're like, man, I wish I hadn't spent any energy on that. I stressed out about that thing. I put so much of my life and my energy into it. Worse yet are the things that we in the past stressed out about that never ever happened. And then we wasted all that time, effort, and energy on something that never came to pass. My mom's saying that it's a balmy, warm 30 degrees in Watertown, South Dakota right now. So if you just really need a heat wave, you can definitely go to Watertown, South Dakota, and it's almost not freezing there now. Um, I guess I do feel really blessed at having the mid 60-degree weather. Even though I can look at the forecast and see that we're supposed to have snow on Thursday and it's supposed to be back down in the 20s for that day. But then it's supposed to pop back up in the 50s the next day. What I'm saying is we have really weird weather. And if we stress out about it, if we don't just enjoy today, we can allow the forecast to totally waste today. Maybe you're in a situation that's just unpredictable, unprecedented, impossible. Maybe you don't have the money you need. Maybe you're looking for love and the people, the person that you want love from doesn't feel the same way about you, or maybe they're not there yet, or maybe they never will be. Maybe the person you really need to love you is you. Maybe you need to lose weight. Maybe you need to gain weight. Maybe you're worried about what are we going to have for dinner. Maybe there's not enough food in your house right now. Or maybe you bought a whole bunch of new food and now you're stressed out about what's the thing that I'm going to eat next. You see, it's an ongoing thing. Maybe you are stressed out about which side of the bread should I butter my bread on now. Now that Steve brought up the Butter Battle book, now I feel pressured to have to pick a side as to whether I butter bread on the top or the bottom. Or you're totally confused because you're still trying to figure out, how do you butter the bread on the bottom? I mean, these are the important things that we waste time and brain cells on when we could be just simply looking with our eyes wide open and our hearts wide open too. How can I serve the world today? What can I do to make somebody feel loved? What can I do to be the best me that I can be? Sometimes that means, hey, you know what? You've been sick, you're tired. Go lay down, take a nap. That's the best version of you right this minute. Maybe you sleep all day. I felt like that yesterday. I felt like every time I wasn't moving, I was asleep. Just how the day was going. I don't totally know why. Feel a lot better today. And it was nice outside too yesterday, so I can't even blame it on the weather. Just was. And maybe that's just a sign that you need some rest. And guess what? That's okay. Maybe your neighbor needs your help. Maybe somebody walking down the street just needs you to simply smile in their direction. Maybe that cashier needs you to tell them, hey, thank you. I really appreciate it. I was at the store yesterday, and just the simple, kind words back and forth between the lady at the checkout. It was nice to just spread love to a human being and be kind to a person. We could be grumpy to one another, and a lot of times we are. Sometimes we've gone through line and had that person be super grumpy to us. I'll never forget, I was at the drugstore one time, and I love giving random tips to people who you're not supposed to tip or you never would even think about tipping. In this particular day, I had a $20 bill with me, and I just had decided that I was going to bless somebody today. I was going to do something really nice. And I happened to have to go. I'm sure it was probably picking up a prescription. Seemed like there for a while. I was at the pharmacy every week. I know it wasn't really that, but it felt that way. You know what I'm saying? And I was just standing there in line. And when I got up there, I paid for my stuff. And then I handed the lady a $20 bill and I said, dinner for you and the people that are here is on me today. Now there was her behind the thing, and it looked like probably two people in the pharmacy, and there was probably only the three. There might have been four people there, and so maybe one large pizza, or if you order it right, possibly two medium pizzas. Maybe that wasn't going to be enough for them to just stuff themselves and have to roll out of the store because they ate so much food. But I bet it was the first time anybody's ever done that for them. I remember one time I gave a tip to the girl that just handed me, the food out of fast food. I think it was a Taco Bell window, and I handed her like a $5 bill. I think I made her day. The big bright smile that came on her face, and she's like, "Are you serious? Really?" I was like, "Yeah, thank you for what you do. I appreciate you." Then I just drove off. Now I don't know what happened beyond that because that's not on my side of the fence. I wanted to share love with somebody in a way that was more meaningful than, just telling them, "Hey, I really care about you." Now, that's not my way of judging. Very rarely am I in a place where I can do that. I happen to have an opportunity to do that one time, those couple of times, and I feel really good about it. And you just do what the world, what the spirit, what God brings you to do to be the best you that you can be today, to do the things that are really important versus spending all our time with the worry and the stress and the everything that's going on, to just simply find a way to maximize while it's called today. What can I do to be the best version of me to help just one person today? That would be more than enough. Imagine if all the 7 billion people in the world all decided for just one day to do nothing but try to help one other person and have that be their only goal for the whole day. Even if it only lasted for one day, imagine what a difference this world would be if we all did that. Now imagine if we got addicted to it and we started doing that every day and the world became a place of giving and sharing and helping and hope and love. Sounds a little bit like heaven, doesn't it? We can't control the other people in the world, but we can sure do that ourselves. And you know what? On behalf of the whole of the universe, I'd like to thank you in advance for the fact that you're going to maximize while it's called today. Thank you. I appreciate that you're going to look for that opportunity and do what only you can do for the person that you're meant to do it for today. Thank you. As you do that, you will begin to learn something new and wonderful and unique in your life. And that's how to live thriving and truly free. Thanks so much for spending some time with me here today. I hope that you're happy, safe, warm, and loved, that the sun shines on your face and you know how special you are. And until we're together again next time, I hope that you have a great week.